Have you ever been in a season where something in you was dissolving and you didn't yet know what was growing in its place? I certainly have, and I was reminded of it recently when I was looking through old photos and came across a picture that I'd taken in 2023, a giant dead cactus laying on a trail in Phoenix. I took that photo for a reason, and seeing it again recently brought everything back and gave me a great opportunity to reflect on the story since taking that photo. So I took the photo in the fall of 2023. My marriage was ending, and I was working with a therapist in Phoenix. And during one of our therapy sessions, she gave me an assignment. She told me to go on a hike that afternoon and find something in nature that best represented how I was feeling. She told me that I would know when I saw it, and she was right. About 2 hours into a long hike, I came across a cactus that had fallen. It was huge, and most of it was completely decayed, laying on the ground, dissolving back into the earth. But on the very tips of it, on the ends of what remained, there was this new growth, small and green and alive. And I sat down right there on that trail and I sobbed. I feel it all again right now because I knew in that moment that that cactus was me. That cactus on the ground. And all around that cactus were beautiful, tall, healthy cactus all around. But those had not spoken to me. The decaying one did. The dead one did. Because something within me was dissolving. Something that had been part of my life was decaying, falling, returning to the ground. And at the same time, there on the tips, something new was emerging. It was small, but it was there, both at the same time, the decay and the growth, the ending and the beginning, right there in the same fallen cactus on that trail in Phoenix. And as I have been processing this, looking at that photo, it's funny that it's still in my phone after these years. And, also knowing the story of how it's unfolded since I took that photo, I want to talk about the dissolving, the dead part of the cactus that spoke to me. Because that is really the part of the cactus that I resonated with. And I don't think we talk enough about the dissolving. We talk about growth. We celebrate reinvention. I mean, I am a master at celebrating the growth and the evolution, and that's good to celebrate it. But we skip over the part that has to happen first, the part where something has to fall, has to decay, has to release, whatever it is, before the new thing has room to emerge. And that part is hard. It's ugly and disorienting. I remember sitting there with that cactus and smelling how it stunk. I mean, I sat there for a long time, like almost soaking all of it in. The stinking, the way that felt, it doesn't feel like leadership. It doesn't feel like growth. It feels like loss, like falling, like laying on the ground while the world keeps moving. That is exactly where I needed to be in that moment. And here's what the cactus showed me. The dissolving is not the end of the story. It had to happen. It is a beautiful and important part of the story. It is actually what makes the new growth possible, which is why I say it had to happen. You can't skip it. You can't rush it. You can only move through it with as much honesty and courage and self-compassion. as you can find. And if you look closely enough, even in the hardest, most decayed season, there are tips of new growth, small and green and alive. They are always there, even when you can't feel them yet. And that's what I want everyone who's in a hard season right now to hear. Whatever is dissolving for you, a role, a relationship, an identity you have outgrown, a version of yourself that no longer fits, it's not just loss, it's also preparation. The ground is being cleared. The new growth is already forming on the tips. Even when all you can see is what's falling away. In that moment, as I sat there, like, all I could feel was the dissolving. I was terrified of what I was losing. But I had to sit there in that for the new growth to emerge. I would not be where I am today if some of those things hadn't have fallen away. So remember, like, you aren't behind, you aren't broken. You're in the middle of becoming that requires dissolving first. And if you look really closely, where might the new growth already be showing up on the tips? It's there, even when it's hard to see. What a great way to take care of yourself and ultimately each other.